All right, you're welcome back from sports there. Time to take a look at the headlines on the front pages, of course, of the newspapers this morning. We're being joined by Charles Ideho, a journalist and public affairs commentator, and he's here to do justice to the headlines this morning.
You didn't see my
Good
chair.
to see you.
You didn't see my chair look this morning.
Look, I was going to ask, is this Niger Delta?
No, this is a blend of Niger and
Mix.
the Southeast.
Yeah. Okay, handshake.
Across
the creeks. All right, it's good to know. Setting the fashion agenda this morning. All right, so let's begin with a punch. Governors, senators back Oshibajo's call for state police. Buhari promises solutions to security challenges. Of course, a national summit on security. Yeah. And Oshibajo is saying, look, this is the way to go. State police.
Well, yes, well, first of all, the chicken is coming home to roost, which is good for us, because there's been a groundswell of calls for state police that the way the policing is structured in Nigeria, there's no way we can effectively have any good thing to do about securing rights and property people. You also understand that about 2 days ago, if I'm mistaken, the IG also cried out about after about 270,000 you have. Or
150
also.
Yeah.
Was the chairman of the Police Service Commission, Michael Kiro,
yes.
Was saying that over 100,000 are just for illegal duties guiding you and I and so
VIPs.
Well, we are not VIPs.
When you say you,
special
citizens. I don't have any policeman guarding me.
So when you take that away, you see that the number of police that will be left for the 180 million will be inadequate. Even if you have all of us will be policing us, it's also inadequate. So state police will help. First of all, each state will now be responsible for the funding, for the kitting and everything. But the question I ask is that when we are still having this problem of some states not being able to pay their civil servants, just about 18,000 naira, how are we sure that the states will also be able to pay?
Yeah, but is it not the structure of the country and the economy that makes it almost impossible for these states to actually pay salaries? Imagine if the states were self-reliant, autonomous.
But nobody's talking about self-reliance, right? Well, we're talking about state police. Nobody's talking about how would they generate resource control. But is that as for now? Has that gained any ground? That's my fear. Because if you give somebody a gun and then you are owing him money, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, then what does he do? He goes to the street, he helps himself to...
Of course, if the federal government is to allow states to do the normal, not even allow the states to do the normal thing that is supposed to be in a federating country, that means that other aspects have to be considered as well. Like you just said, that there has to be means of generating funds internally.
That's right.
So that it will be independent.
What you're saying, yours is probability. You said if. Okay, exactly. Assuming they don't. So assuming we don't go the way of, we don't go federalism wholesale, what happens? So we also be having this problem about and
is that why we are where we are now? Because we refuse to take the big walk.
Again, we also have to be very careful. The fears that people have been raising about some certain elements having control over this police.
And becoming lords and taking advantage.
We've seen the such example at the federal level of not the presidency, of someone at the top somehow using the police. You remember Amechi in Rivers State, and then former commissioner of police, Joseph Mbu.
Yes.
And then we have other examples.
But I see the thing is that
in Abuja, when bring back our girls,
the psychology of these leaders are different. The way the center will look at everybody as all my children. But see, when you now begin to hand over power to a micro unit of the entire, the person, if you're not careful with the legislation being properly put in place, preparatory to this, you might be having problems.
Well, isn't that an argument that almost says that we've given up on ourselves to be able to do the right thing when it comes to putting the right systems in place and ensuring that the people who drive those systems do the right thing as far as the law is concerned? All right, let's move on. There's still other stories here. Court jails Chibok girls abductor for 15 years. 2-3 count charge against the gentleman. He's asking for mercy, saying that he was conscripted forcefully to join the Boko Haram group.
But he was with them.
Yeah.
He was with them. He was given assignments. He carried out, and so I think the law will not look at this issue of conscription. The law will look at exactly what he did that was wrong.
Some will be talking that this could be some form of selective prosecution, because the man said, like you just pointed out now, that he was conscripted forcefully. And of course, we know that there are hundreds of Fulani militants that surrendered willingly, and then have been put through DRL program, radicalization, rehabilitation, and then reintegration. So why not offer this man the same option if some are benefiting in hundreds?
That's on the one hand. On the other hand, we also say nobody had been prosecuted.
Okay, so we're happy that somebody is paying the price.
So let us have as a deterrent. That's it.
Or prosecute everybody, and then later
will it be deterrent enough?
It's a launch pad.
Okay, what else do we have here? Herdsmen slaughter cop killed 2 civil defense men in Benue. Restructuring of Nigeria unavoidable, says Alani Akinrade. Of course, he was former defense chief in Nigeria, adding his voice to the issue of restructuring.
But my fear is that all this we are having it because we are at the eve of the election year. I also understand that the El-Rufai committee that was talking about the devolution of powers to the component states, and they said right now the NWC of the APC, they're working very, very hard to ensure that all these recommendations are put in place before 2019 election. But my question is that wouldn't that be hasty? Because in order for you to please the people to garner their votes, you quickly say, okay, this is what they're looking for.
Well, maybe the process can just start.
The process has to, it has to be detailed.
Okay, so we go to the Vanguard now. The major story: kidnapping, robbery, herdsmen, farmers clashes a lot. Our security solutions will stand test of time. Buhari with multiple riders, beheaded farmer. We will deal with herdsmen our way. Agbekoya. We lost 4 persons. Bambado Southwest Fulani leader. We are not aware of any crisis. Police talking about the killing of a 70-year-old man in Oyo State. So the Association of Farmers is now saying that it would take...
The Association of Hunters.
Agbekoya.
Yes, Agbe is farmer in Yoruba. So the Association of Farmers, saying that they would... they're like the military, not military, like the armed... in the olden...
There's armed there because the Koya there has to do with arms.
Yes, in the olden history of the Yoruba line,
you guys are going to go on the cause of...
farmers there to defend the interests of the farmers. So they're saying that members are saying that it would defend themselves. Yeah,
because since it seems as if the state is failing. You understand? You heard what the
police said, and even the police in Oyo State, they were not aware of any form.
So if they are not aware, and then you are having killing and then where we going to go
burning of farms.
So, but I personally, I don't subscribe to the issue of people defend or not defend themselves. Taking, this reprisal attacks, because people who are not trained to do certain things, when they go, they overdo, which was my quarrel with Governor Oton when he said they want to defend us. Because where you place the limit will be very difficult.
Absolutely.
So that's why government has to do everything possible. Thankfully, the CNC, he met with the security chiefs. Let's hope they are what they seek to do is going to work in the end.
Okay, so we'll go to another story now. Pro-anti-Yusuf protesters take over NHIS office as police weighed in. The reinstatement of Professor.
Yeah, I think it's quite a bad taste, if you ask me, because the man had been on suspension since June last year, if I'm not mistaken. And then he was supposed to have been undergoing probe. Absolutely. But I don't know whether EFCC went to bed. All of a sudden, when the man has been sitting, they now come back again.
Yeah, but then again, nobody has asked the question as to the legal implications or the constitutionality of suspending the NHIS boss in the first place. Is the health minister, his supervisor, in quote,
whether he has the power
to suspend him?
Oh, but
is it possible that is on that basis
you
that
use that language? You said superintending over or something like that. He is the boss. So everybody, all the agencies and parastatals, they all report to him. So if he has set up a probe and then the man was found culpable, he doesn't have prosecutorial power, but he can institute probe. So the probe that he told, they found the man to have helped himself.
Does he have?
So he now, what he did was he now passed the thing over
powers to suspend Yusuf in this case.
But I can't recall. But we have had.
That's the point. We need to get to that point. We need to get to that point so that we don't, you know,
and then does that even discountenance or even rubbish the purpose of it? The alleged corruption charges. Recall that the presidency prescribed IPOB before going to court. So not going through the normal process.
But this one, I think, is normal.
Unfortunately, it looks like people in government don't know. I mean, they know everything else apart from what the law says about.
Well, in most cases, they won't look at the laws.
That's the point.
All right, so we'll quickly look at this one. Liberia's Seralif wins $5 million African Leadership Prize.
So that's the Mo Ibrahim.
The Mo Ibrahim
yes.
Award.
And you see,
former president of Liberia.
For how many years now that we have not had any African leader qualifying? Then we're having women, kudos to women too.
Well, the first woman.
Then we see the thing is that it's like passing, it's even more difficult than passing through the aisle. The needle is even easier than winning that award. For her to win that award, I think to have won that award, it means that there's something that woman has to offer Africa.
Yeah, and the Mo Ibrahim Award is one award
has something to offer Africa,
absolutely.
And then we must applaud.
According to those who selected her, of course, she ticked, I mean, all the right, you know, boxes as far as the criteria
for winning
the
so I think it's
another feat for her. Really,
it's a good one. It's a good one. Yes. The Daily Sun reports here: herdsmen overrun varsity, and VC raises the alarm over deadly grazing on campus.
That was the Unilori.
Yeah.
And I also understand that you also cried that I also pausing the water
tank. That's a totally, that's a different, that's a dangerous dimension.
And then we are still saying that the IG is still claiming, anyway, he has apologized and says it's intercommunal clashes. Now, my fear is that, you see, herdsmen issue, Fulani herdsmen, whatever nomenclature, has become a franchise, kind of. So people
are latching onto it too.
They're latching onto it. So what if, for instance, they are the fleeing Boko Haram who have something to do is all they need to do is to hide behind.
You know, someone said that. I saw a statement. Credit, I can't recall the person's name now. That it could be that Boko Haram members that fled.
Yeah, that fled because of the heavy bombardment.
Heavy bombardments there could be the ones posing.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That it has become a franchise, and it's also very. If you're not careful, if we just pass them over and say, herdsmen, then the security agency will not be able to deal decisively with them. So, if we see
that's
them
why
as,
the onus lies on them really to unravel, to know exactly who are the people behind these things. The Daily Sun still, Imo Guba Okorocha endorses son-in-law. That
for me, politically might be correct.
In the rumor mill for a while now.
Politically, it might be right, politically, but morally, it's not right. Morally, it's not right because you are still there. It's like you want to create a kind of family dynasty.
Is it a morality question? Does it fall under nepotism?
Well, of course, nepotism is what? You define nepotism.
So let's leave morals on one hand.
Morals and nepotism.
The real issue here.
Morality and nepotism, I think we should be treating them.
Pari passu.
Yeah, pari passu.
Yes. But it won't be the first time really this will be happening anyway.
Okay, let's move on from that. Nigeria spends 24 billion naira monthly to power generators, FG. Imagine if this amount could actually go into the power sector. How much difference?
But the FG,
this is what we're spending on generators every month.
There's also a gen, or there are generators.
About 3 trillion every year
in the presidency.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Then there are also generators.
Offices of electricity.
I was in Togo. I told you that time when I went to my family. I didn't see any shop. The whole Lome where generators were sold. That's a small country. I didn't see any. Even the banks and all of them where we visited, we didn't see anywhere you had generator that is okay, this is going to, in case power fails. And when power will fail in that particular area, they will warn you ahead of time. And it may not last more than
in Japan, only 1 minute.
What I read yesterday.
1 minute.
The person has to bow.
No, there was a statement. A hotel had to issue a statement, a notice to those that were lodging in the hotel yesterday that there would be internet interruption for just a minute. And they apologized profusely.
What about Germany? Twice last year, they were begging people to use more power.
They were paying. Even California was paying neighboring states.
Please bring it. Don't even pay us. We will pay you. Bring it to us. Say
it makes you feel like crying, really. But you don't want to shed tears.
We won't pay you. Just bring it to us. We don't pay you.
Like Fela said, you know, let's just
and smiling.
Yeah.
All right, so we go to the nation.
Something else there. The nation.
Sadly, it's not the major story is not something that will still cheer you up anyway. So, how 31 suspects put $11.4 million in Jonathan's wife's account.
Allegation,
of course. $41,438,000 blown in one day shopping. Ex-First Lady to EFCC. Let's settle. And then there are a list of names of those that allegedly, deposited the huge amount into her alleged account. And Sulaiman Ade deposited 299,990.
Look, these figures are mind-bending. Don't even bother.
I'm confused.
Do you know how this things happen?
Close to 20 names.
Do you know how these things happen? I mean, some of our journalists we have here to the ground, some of this happens over there is that a lot of people pay money to the cronies of wives of heads of state in order to aid their access to the presidency for contracts and so on. So what they just do, okay, what you need, they'll give them account, pay some amount of money, then they will now put your name on the list for you to be able to see. So that's part of what's responsible for some of those things.
But this is allegedly Patience Jonathan's account.
That's what I'm saying. If you paid money,
so if she allegedly owns the account, won't you say that she's allegedly culpable?
Well, allegedly say let's settle.
But you know what? What Charles Ideho has just said is a reality.
No, it's a reality.
If you took a picture or photograph or whatever with, maybe Mr. President today, I mean, people.
You're going to flash it everywhere.
You flash it everywhere.
You pay for billboard.
You just start influence peddling.
That's how they do. So in order for them to gain
just like in South Korea.
Yes, in order to gain access to the presidency for contracts, even all the PAs and all these essays, they also have. Don't let's go to some.
Okay, so we'll look at another story. Yes, we already talked about this one. Governors back state police. Korocha endorses son-in-law as successor, ex-CBN chief for president.
Yeah, Mogalo.
Yes, yeah. Protest as well. Yeah, I think.
But Mogalo is also.
Yeah,
but it's in the new breed, but he's also an old man.
Well,
yeah, Mogalo. I have been hearing Mogalo long time ago, so the man couldn't be very young if I've been hearing about him for the past 20 years.
But he would have a fresh face.
Yes, before we go to this day, this sad story, missing policeman found dead in Benue, herdsmen killed 2 NSCDC men.
Now, do you know what happened about the NSCDC men? No, we really have to treat this case very seriously. What happens is that they went to take their bath in a stream. And because of the issue of security over there, what they do is that if four of them will go there, 2 of them will watch over why the 2 take that. So it was why the 2 of them were taking their bath that the herdsmen, they came over and then they killed them. 2 of them now escaped. So if we look
it's a deliberate attempt to weaken the security.
So weaken security, they know what they're doing, because if they continually do all these things, it's like now they have taken the battle to the security agencies.
A really unfortunate development there. All right, let's quickly move on to this day's last paper this morning. Izunaso, trouble awaits APC if Buhari refuses to run. Really? Okay.
Who's going to bring trouble? Well, but I think APC, for now, APC is still not, maybe, let me not use superlative word, but APC is still popular in so many areas. And why APC might still make a good showing at the polls is that you fight for now, it's very difficult to find any alternative in any party, any alternative in any candidate. For now, I've looked everywhere. I've not seen any candidate for now who can say,
can the APC really take things for granted?
No, they can't. They can't.
They can?
They can't. They can't. But again, if they run this election now, that landslide, they may not be able to win landslide anymore.
Except, of course, maybe in the north, where President Buhari
even
has never been.
Even in the north, if
never
been
defeated.
It may not be landslide in the north again, because if you hear of opposition from even the youth everywhere, they are talking about it may not also be, because people, they are also going to be...
Opposition, when he went to Kano, he got...
wow. You don't understand politics. Let another man go. You also see the same crowd.
We are media people. You know, you're a journalist. You don't need to analyze the issues. Just tell you what we saw.
Somebody said, the Nigerian crowd, you could describe them as plebeians.
Plebeians, exactly, because they don't. Our man is coming. Whoever.
Yes.
Which is the next man? Which is our man next?
And then we all
of them are their men. So you.
Of course, you recall the last FEC meeting on Wednesday.
Yes.
The sports minister actually asked the direct question: Mr. President, are you really going to run? What exactly is the situation? What is the position? and there was a loud silence in
the remember the Babangida era when he said,
to him.
Remember the Babangida era when they told the late Miriam? When he was to go say, after we have left, say, who told you we are leaving?
We are leaving. After becoming the military president.
Who told you we are leaving?
Okay. All right. This one is interesting. Shibajo, let's handle herdsmen farmers violence with an open mind. And of course, finally, Governors Forum backs state police as Buhari vows to end security challenges. All right, with that, we wrap this segment of Newspaper Review. Thank you very much, Charles Ideho, for the interesting analysis. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
So we'll go on a short break now, and when we return, we'll be looking at the deployment of 800 mobile officers and, of course, APCs and other security gadgets to Adamawa and, of course, Taraba states to quell the crisis there between Fulani herdsmen and farmers. Stay with us.